Cam, the tree that you're under, probably 250 years old.
Yep, red beech tree, 250 years old.
What would it tell you?
My legs are tired, my knees are sore. I cannot hunt one moment more, so beneath your mighty trunk I'll rest to put my peak out to the test. To wonder what you'd have to say of all your 100,000 days, perhaps or more, once rested here. Our huia and our kakapo, I know they once lived here, exchange these days for possum, shiprat, stoats and deer. When will it end, this mass of change, this overstocking of the range? Not even you, old friend, will see the crazy future that may be. Because now it's man who more and more he's all upon your forest floor. Will your children go as strong? Will they even have a forest to belong? So here's a thought with you I'll share, with all the things that live up here. I'll wish upon tonight's first star, I'll make a wish for what you are. And I'll pray you stay both near and far in this place they call Kaimanawa. The Kaimanawa Ranges are the oldest mountains in the North Island. They've been out of the sea for 85 million years. There is an ecology in parts of this landscape that occurs nowhere else in the world. The literal translation in Māori of Kaimanawa is nourished heart. For me, the Kaimanawa nourishes my heart. Today it's dripping with rain. It's fresh. You can smell the oxygen. You can hear bird song. You can see the layers from the leaf litter up to the canopy, and birds, mushrooms, mosses, trees.
There's no other place like it in the country for me, and we've got river flats and nice open ridges and beautiful clean water, and a lot of hunters like myself and my friends, we all come here to rewind and just take a step back and get away from the hustle and bustle of life.
It's alive, it's ancient, it's fragile, it's part of who I am.
It's the boots. The boots are like 8 kilos.
The Sika Foundation is about trapping predators who are impacting things like our blue ducks, our kaka, our kiwi, making sure that the herd is pruned to the capability of the forest. The foundation of our hunting resources, not the deer, the foundation of our hunting resources is this forest. Without this forest, we have no hunting. It's taken 8 years to build. I see my role as a mentor and educator, and I see the Sika Foundation's role as being the voice for this place. So this trap's been sitting here for maybe 6 weeks. It's lost its appeal, its interest, it's whispering or even silent in the landscape. Scuffing the ground and using flour helps us to start shouting in the landscape. So that'll stick to vegetation. The scent of it will carry off on the critters' whiskers and arms and in their scats, and they'll bring other critters here. Operationally, the Sika Foundation runs over 500 traps through 35 kilometres of river. That's protecting potentially a very viable population of our threatened native blue duck. We've removed hundreds of stoats, which are the prime agent of loss for things like kiwi and whio and kaka. In terms of our deer management, we are studying this herd and monitoring this herd very intensely. We understand the effects that this herd is having on the forest. Our forest monitoring and our herd monitoring are inextricably linked to help us understand the trajectory of not only the herd, but more importantly, this forest.
The core of the herd remains on Poronui. We like to think that we're the home of Sika, and feel a real responsibility in looking after that herd. Like everywhere else, we've seen deer numbers increase to the extent that it is severely impacting on other parts of of the business and of the property. We see that, and so we need to take action to ensure that we bring that herd back into balance. But as responsible hunters, if we are to play a part in the future management of these forests, we need to be leading the way and proactively changing what we do with deer herds, because then we get the right to be at the table. If we just ignore it and wait for other people to do it for us, don't be surprised when the outcome is not what we want. There's scope for hunters to really step up and take a lead and show that they have the responsibility in that area and be a part of it in the future. And that's happening. I mean, you've seen the work with the Sika Foundation, which is, phenomenal. That's occurring in other parts of the country as well.
I believe you have to look after the land. This is our home, and I've got a young family, and I hope in the next few years I can have them in here with me. Been hunting this very area since I was 16 and been hooked ever since. And now we understand the lay of the land, and we're getting better quality stags and actually seeing the fruits of our labour. We're doing track maintenance, which is keeping access open. We're doing hut maintenance, which is looking after our shelters when we're here, or we're fly camping, and we're tidying up rubbish that guys have left behind.
We are not just end-use consumers. We're not just camo-wearing, gun-toting hooligans, as we're often portrayed by the non-hunting urban public. At Sika Foundation, we see hunters actually as conservationists, as stewards of the land. And so the narrative is moving away from consumption and more into caring and putting back to what nourishes us.
Manaki tia te whenua, mana koe e manaki. So if you look after the land, it'll look after you. People sort of talk about kaitiaki. Kaitiaki is like guardianship and stewardship. But in essence, the tuna or the eel, the longfin eel, he's actually the steward or the guardian of the rivers. You'll have the birds, we've got the falcons and things like that here. They'll keep things in check. But it's the mana is with the man, and it's the decisions that the man makes on what he does on the land. Individuals can't do it on their own. Even with Māori, Māori, we understand the Māori view of the environment. We understand what needs to be done. Māori understand the responsibilities on what needs to be done. But a lot of times, even Māori can't even do it on their own. They need this community to be able to help them to do it.
From a deer perspective, yes, those deer give nourishment to my family in terms of kai, in terms of food. I eat meat. I'm proud of that I eat meat. Eating meat is an important part of the welfare of this place because we take animals out of here to do that.
There is a phenomenal venison resource, and this is a perfect opportunity to utilize a valuable, sustainable resource in the consumptive use market for food banks for people that don't have, as much as others.
With the expense of all growing up, it goes a long way with families, whānau. We have families that do need it, that aren't able to go out and hunt, don't have the skills to do that. So it's a privilege. There's an awesome foundation to do this.
Kia ora.
How are you?
How are you?
I'm Jim.
Jim
Tate.
Robbie Kroger.
Pleased to meet you.
Pleasure to
Robbie.
meet you, Jim. Did you used to hunt when you were a youngster?
Yeah.
Yeah? You liked it a lot?
Not for those things, eh?
Not for those things?
They're too cunning. They're too fast for us.
The Sika were too fast for you?
Yeah. Yeah.
These are hunters, going in, doing the mahi in the backcountry, and then saying, we want to give this back to people that need it. What does that mean to you?
Well, yeah, it's a good thing. All this medicine Megan brings us, all the minutes that what he's doing now,
Yeah,
he's giving it back to the people.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's all right.
And this is what we do. We're receiving it with open arms and enjoying it.
You the guys bring in the meat.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you to see this guy and
To meet Jim and Bill and just to see the smile on their face when Megan turned up with the food parcel with the venison mince, it's, you know, it makes it worthwhile. Like, I don't have to shoot as many deer as I want, but it's worth bringing it out to share it. You know, I'm fit and healthy and young, and I've got the energy to do it. When these gentlemen did it 30, 40 years ago, it's now my chance to give back to them.
what does it mean to you?
It means that I get to see my friends once a week.
Well, thank you, sir. Much appreciate you.
Kapai.
Kapai.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thank you.
Historically, the whole existence for Māori was about existence, simply that. Now we're at a point where there are a lot of people, their focus has shifted. Their focus has shifted to putting something on the wall. And we need to bring that back to a point where the focus should be on the big picture. The big picture is about looking after the land, looking after the environment. And if we understand that wherever we are in the world, everything starts from the ground up.
This feels like home since early settlers come here. You know, they've brought rats and stoats and ferrets and possums and all this, and it's changed our whole ecosystem here. So we need to manage it and we need to look after it.
Ultimately, anglers, hunters are the best conservationists that you'll find. And I think we need to start looking at them that way and give them a real role in managing these areas.
I don't have to be in here, I choose to be in here, and as an ecologist who's spent 40 years understanding here, I see a role for myself, a very important role. If I wasn't doing this, we wouldn't have whio, we wouldn't have kiwi, we wouldn't have kaka. This forest would be on a trajectory to something very, very different to what's here now. It's very, very different to what was here when these fellas were just little baby seedlings. I can see that path that they've been on, and in my heart, I feel their voice. It's my responsibility as a hunter, as a user, as a human being who lives in a place, who gets the privilege of being in a place like this, to do utmost what I can to ensure the sustainability of such places.
Anything else on your heart, Tom?
When I first started here, there were 2 kaumātua here. And they said to me, "Boy, can you see the kura? Can you see the kura?" So the kura was, this is the place of learning. Can you see the classroom? Can you see where you're going to learn what you need to learn to look after the place? That's what these 2 guys are talking about. It's nothing, I've never ever forgot it. It's always been in my heart. And that's what's kept me alive here. That's what's, it saves me here. Can you see the kura? Can you see the kura?